Okay, everybody, it's 7:30, so welcome along to another Expert in the House Discover Redox presentation by our Australian and New Zealand Diamonds. So I am Julie Watts and I have the pleasure of being with you this evening. So before I start, I just do need to say that ASEA and Renew 28 are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure or prevent any medical condition or disease. They simply empower the body to heal naturally, as you are about to learn. So reasons you may be here tonight, there may be a few. One, you may have a health challenge yourself. Someone you know or love may have a health challenge. You might be looking at anti-aging and beauty, health maintenance, or to protect your health in future, improved athletic ability, and of course the wonderful business opportunity that this product offers people. So we'll go through all of those. So you really are here to learn tonight about the biggest breakthrough, the single greatest health science breakthrough of our lifetime. And I know that's a really big statement, but it actually happens to be true. ASEA Redox is 10 to 15 years ahead of its time, without question. Cutting edge technology, a new category of science, and absolutely was once thought to be impossible. So before I go any further, I'd like to share my ASEA journey with you, just so that you can understand how I came to be involved with this company. So I started taking ASEA in April 2015. And yes, this is me, but it was a long time ago. I did have abnormal cells in my breast that had spread to my lymph nodes, and I had a huge amount of treatment for that, and luckily I'm still here today. But it's not about that journey, it is about what the treatment for that actually did to my system and my immune system. Prior to that, I used to have an awful lot of abnormal cells, was continually having them removed, and after this treatment, the doctor said they would get a lot worse. I didn't think they could, because they were pretty bad considering my age, which wasn't very old. Back then I was 39. But they did get a lot worse. My immune system just couldn't handle what was going on in my system, and it wasn't keeping them at bay anymore because my immune system was so compromised. So you can see from the arrows, there were previous scars there from the same thing, and then obviously my nose and my cheek again. And as my nose was actually healing up, they cut more out of my forehead, which you wouldn't think was possible, and it actually wasn't. That H-shaped scar at the very top, the doctor had trouble stitching that up. He actually broke the sutures 3 times, and you can imagine why, because if you look at the previous photo, how much else I had already had cut out of my forehead. There wasn't much flesh left there. So we had to go on to other types of treatments for this, and they were treatments that I also had earlier in through my time as well. So this was one particular treatment, and I had that several times during my span of having this problem. And the very last treatment I had was this one. And this is the photo that actually had me introduced to ASEA, because somebody saw it on the internet and called and told me about this amazing product. And gladly I listened, and I will be forever grateful for that phone call. And prior to my life with ASEA, I had a lot of other health challenges. So I had a huge systemic infection at 16, and I had an ovary and a tube removed back then at the age of 16. That systemic infection nearly killed me. I was in hospital for a long time on an antibiotic drip, and it caused a myriad of other issues, as you can imagine, because my whole system was infected. I had many major operations on my bowel, bladder and ovary between the ages of 16 and 25. And at 25, I finally had a complete hysterectomy, where they took the last little bit of ovary I had left on the other side and everything else along with it. The abnormal cells in my breast that had spread to my lymph system, and probably being due to the fact that I was on hormone replacement therapy from the age of 25, and my abnormal cells in my breasts were age 39. I had glandular issues, hormonal deficiencies, obviously, immune challenges, muscle and joint discomfort, sleep challenges, fatigue and autoimmune problems, high LDL cholesterol at a very young age, high sugar levels at a very young age, abnormal liver enzymes that were there for no reason anybody could possibly explain for years and years, chronic back discomfort, a lot of respiratory challenges, and thinning bones, of course, again, due to the hormonal deficiencies that I had from a young age. But this slide really tells you the power of taking ASEA over a long period of time. ASEA really does harness the power of your own body to keep you well. I've had significant improvements in many of the issues I just talked about, if not nearly all, and have reduced my need for all of the medications that I was on back then, simply because ASEA has been helping my body. It hasn't been treating or curing anything. It has simply been helping my body at a very, very cellular level. So this is a bone density result, and my bone density was decreasing year after year after year. The doctor had always, for many years, wanted me to take a bone building drug that I just didn't really want to take. And in 2015, it was still decreasing, and that's when I started taking ASEA. 2016, it still decreased a little. 2017, it slowed down, and in 2018, it actually increased. So at the very end of 2018, it had actually increased by 1.3% in my hip and 1.8% in my spine. I hadn't done anything different other than take ASEA. I didn't do any different exercise. I didn't take any different supplements. There was nothing else that changed in my life other than the fact that I was regularly taking ASEA. It is not a drug in any way, shape or form. It doesn't work like a drug. It has absolutely no toxicity, totally proven to have no toxicity. You cannot be allergic to it, and it does not interfere with any medication or treatment that you may be taking or having. So let's talk about what else it is not. So it's not a drug, and it's also not any of these things. It's not a food, a vitamin, a mineral, antioxidant, exotic juice, essential oil, CBD oil, alkaline water, energy drink, steroid, none of those things. And again, I say it is not a medication or a drug. And there have been $15 million of safety studies that have proved it has zero toxicity. ASEA Redox goes way beyond nutrition and ingredients. ASEA Redox can do what no other product can do for the body because it contains what no other product contains. It contains redox signaling molecules, and it is the only, these three products are the only products in the world that contain active redox signaling molecules. So your body is a most complex communication network. And imagine having a house on fire and a cell phone and a lovely strong cell signal. You can call the fire brigade in to put out the fire, and the house doesn't burn down with a bit of luck. But what if you don't have a good cell signal? You can't call in the fire brigade. And while everyone else in the world is focusing on the fire truck and putting out fires, that's what medication and drugs mostly do. They are constantly putting out fires. So while the rest of the world is focusing on that fire truck, ASEA is actually focusing on the signal, improving the signal in our bodies so that it can communicate properly and know when things are going wrong. And I like to explain it like this because it simplifies things. You need materials, because it's very important to understand that you also need the materials to have a healthy body and healthy cells, healthy tissue, healthy organs. You need all the right materials. So if you were going to build a house, you would have a block of land and you would put all of the materials on the block ready for the house to be built. But what would happen if the builder didn't show up? Nothing would happen and the house wouldn't be built. You do need the labor. You need the carpenter, the tilers, the bricklayers, etc. to come and build the house. Our body is no different. Our materials are food and supplements. These things are very important. Today, with the way our food is, we actually do need to take supplements. Sadly, it's very hard to get all the nutrients you need out of a normal diet today. But our materials are the proteins, the carbs, fats, vitamins, minerals, all the antioxidants, all of the things that we need to get either from our food or our supplements, but they are the materials. And this is where people get confused. They think ASEA is a material. It is not. Redox molecules are the labor. They're really the communication network for your cells, your genes, and your DNA. They are the thing that keeps everything communicating and working properly, and they need the materials. They need the materials to be able to do this. And if your cells can't signal, nothing else matters. All of these really important things, all of them, they are really important, but if your cells aren't signaling properly, nothing else matters. Absolutely nothing. That is why you may know people who eat a healthy diet, who take all the supplements under the sun, who really try to look after themselves really, really well, but they have a health problem that they just cannot fix. And quite often, that is a lack of redox molecules. So redox signaling molecules are made in every single cell in our body. And if you want to have healthy brain cells, healthy brain, you better have a healthy brain cells. And if you want to have a healthy heart, you really need to have healthy heart cells and so on. So we are made up of systems. Our systems are made of organs. Our organs are made of tissues. Our tissues are made from cells. So everything above there in that triangle is made from cells. So you do need healthy cells. And of course, our cells actually make redox signaling molecules. And they are absolutely foundational to cellular health. And how does our system make it? Redox signaling molecules are made in every cell in our body in the mitochondria. Every cell has mitochondria and they produce our energy, or adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, some people may have heard it called. So in that process, they also make redox molecules, and they do this whole thing from saline solution in your cells, and that is exactly the same way that a seer makes a seer, and we'll learn about that shortly. So if we make them, what's the problem? Why would I need them? Redox signaling declines with age, and the number one issue we are all facing today is aging. Whether we're very, very healthy or not, we still, every single day, are getting a day older. But there are other stresses that cause our redox molecules to decline as well. From puberty, they decline 10% per decade, which is why our skin starts to sag and our muscles start to ache and our joints start to creak. This is the reason for this. And of course, when you have other stresses on top of just age, this happens a lot faster. So with our environment now living today and our diet today, the EMS stress we're under, just basically life stress that we all have to cope with, our redox molecules are declining at a faster rate and we are making less than we need. So what can we do about it? Common sense, of course, says take a supplement, but that was once thought to be totally impossible. But now, because of ASEA's amazing breakthrough, it is actually possible. And this is ASEA's patented 3-step process of how they actually make redox molecules from saline solution, exactly the same way your cells do. Step 1, they start with pristine salt water. Step 2, that salt water is broken down into free-floating atoms. And step 3, those atoms are restructured back into stabilized redox signaling molecules, and that is what you find in these 3 products. So you might be asking yourself, okay, this is all well and good, but why haven't I heard of them? Have you heard of antioxidants? Of course you have. We have all heard of antioxidants, but do you know why? Time. They were first discovered in 1940. How long was it before they became mainstream and showed up on every single bottle in the supermarket, even if it, doesn't really contain antioxidants? If it contains a berry flavor, the companies are now trying to say it contains antioxidants because they're so important. They're so important. But that only happened not that long ago, considering they were discovered back in 1940. That's exactly what is happening here with redox molecules. They were first discovered in 1998 by these 3 gentlemen. They discovered a nitric oxide molecule in the cardiovascular system that they realized was a signaling molecule. And since then, the race has been on in the scientific community to learn more about these redox molecules that are made in our mitochondria. They are responsible for protecting healthy cells and detecting, repairing, or replacing damaged cells. So you can imagine how important they are to your system. And how did we come about to actually have ASEA and redox molecules in a bottle? That is thanks to this wonderful gentleman here called Verdus Norton. There is a wonderful video called the Genesis video that you can watch that explains this amazing story. But put very simply, Verdus actually acquired this technology from a struggling biotech company. Basically, he was sitting on their board, he understood the technology, he managed to acquire the technology because that particular company was running out of funds to do the research that they were doing on this. So he acquired it himself, took it home, employed a medical atomic physicist to come and finish the job with him. And he did this as a business. He had full intentions of selling it to a pharmaceutical company, just like the first company we're going to. But thankfully, he turned down a very large offer from a pharmaceutical company because they started to share it with some people in their town and their friends and their family. And very soon, 40 people turned into 135 people, all through word of mouth. And this has now turned into hundreds of thousands in 33 countries and growing. So what began as a simple business venture for Verdus Norton became a purpose-filled mission to improve lives around the world. And ASEA, the company, was formed. I will be forever grateful for him not taking that huge offer from the pharmaceutical company, and I know many, many, many other people around the world feel the same way. So this is ASEA's corporate offices in Utah and their redox facility in Utah, where all redox products are made and will always be made. I've been to both of these facilities. They're amazing. So ASEA was first brought to the market in 2009. We're now in 33 countries, and Malaysia actually opened in September, so it was the last one to open. But less than 1% of the world know about redox molecules or ASEA, both. Not many people do. So whoever has invited you here tonight to learn about this wonderful breakthrough, you should really be thanking them, because you are learning very, very early about this product and about redox molecules. They are responsible and affect every single system in your body. There is nothing they don't affect. So let's have a quick look at Australia's health report from 2018. This was the most recent data that is available at the moment. Hopefully they'll update this stuff shortly. So an average day in our health in Australia, have a look at that. 380 people are diagnosed with cancer, 170 people have a heart attack, and 100 people have a stroke, and 14 people are newly diagnosed with end-stage kidney disease. That's pretty amazing. And this one, 777,000 prescriptions are filled under the pharmaceutical benefit scheme. And there are a lot of others that don't go under that scheme. So imagine how many that is. That is just mind-boggling. That's a day, an average day in our health system. So the leading causes of death: chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, number 5, then lung cancer, cerebrovascular disease, which is strokes, dementia and Alzheimer's is second, and the top cause is coronary heart disease, but not in females. This is changing. In females now, dementia and Alzheimer's disease is the top killer in females. So this is something that we really need to be taking a serious look at. And here's some trends, incidents in all cancers combined from 1982 to 2018. Look where that arrow is heading. You would think we would start to be better today, wouldn't you? But we're not. And you can see the end one is a bit of an estimate, the light blue. And you can see that, you know, maybe sort of coming down a little, but it's an estimation. They're not sure. And of course, there's lots of reasons for these sorts of things to be happening, because we are diagnosing cancer a lot earlier, of course. So the incidence probably is trending that way, but still it's not coming down is my point, and it really should be. These are interesting statistics. Dementia, diabetes and suicide are on the rise quite rapidly in men and women. And these conditions are also affecting our health, chronic illnesses. And this is really interesting. 1 in 3 adults and children have chronic respiratory conditions such as asthma. 1 in 3 people have arthritis or other musculoskeletal conditions. 1 in 10 show biomedical markers, signs of chronic kidney disease. 1 in 10. 1 in 20 adults self-report having diabetes, but this data means probably there are a lot more that are undiagnosed. So that's pretty amazing. And diabetes contributed to 10% of all deaths in Australia back in 2016. So it'd be interesting to know what it is now. And 1 in 11 people aged over 65 have dementia. That's pretty incredible. And again, it is the leading cause of death in women. It has replaced heart disease as the leading cause of death in women. So looking at that data, over half of us have a chronic condition. And actually a lot of us have at least 2 of those conditions. So chronic conditions are things that are long lasting and require a lot of ongoing management and have substantial effect on people and carers, health system, and obviously the person who has them. And they are things like cancer, cardiovascular disease, mental health conditions, arthritis, back pain and problems, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which has to do with the lungs, asthma and diabetes. And nearly 1 in 4 Australians, as I said, are estimated to have 2 or more of these conditions. What the heck is going on? Why aren't we getting better? Pharmaceutical drugs, God bless them, and we absolutely need them, generally treat symptoms. They're not actually getting to the root cause of the problem. But when you have a balanced set of redox molecules, it really does help your body deal with the root cause of whatever is happening in your body at the time. So what is ASEA? It's a cell signaling supplement and a gel. What does it do and why does it affect the root cause of our health challenge? It tells our cells what to do and regulates gene activity. And why do we need it? Because our bodies are breaking down every single day, every single minute. ASEA has funded millions and millions of dollars of research. BioAgilytix laboratories actually certify every 4th batch of ASEA and Renew 28 that come out of our facility that they actually contain active redox molecules. That company would not be able to do that if it didn't. If it was saline solution, it could not be redox certified. And Tourette Laboratories. This is a genetic laboratory. Genes contain the blueprint to our health. And sadly today, a lot of our genes are turning off. So Tourette Laboratories did a double-blind placebo-controlled study which showed that taking ASEA can increase genetic expression between 20 and 31% in 5 key areas of health, which is truly astounding. These things were the immune system response, inflammatory response, cardiovascular health, healthy digestion, and hormone modulation. Who wouldn't want a 20 to 31% increase in the signaling to these areas? I mean, wow, really, really important for ongoing health. And one of the genes they tested was a gene called EGR1, and it is important because it actually influences 15 additional genetic pathways. And some of these were things like serotonin receptor, so the feel-good hormone, circadian rhythm related genes, which of course has to do with sleep, human thyroid stimulating hormone signaling pathway. Lots of people have thyroid issues today. Insulin signaling. Wow, that's really important. And another one, which is very important considering what we've been discussing about dementia and Alzheimer's disease, is the brain-derived neurotrophic factor signaling pathway, which has to do with growth and maintenance of brain cells. But the really important one here in this independent clinical study was EGR1 affects the NRF2 pathway. And the NRF2 pathway is responsible for antioxidant health. Oxidative stress is our #1 health risk factor today, and the NRF2 is absolutely critical for the production and activation of your own master antioxidants, glutathione and superoxide dismutase. And studies show that it can increase it by up to 800% if it's needed. So we've had independent clinical studies, the genetic study, and also antioxidant efficiency. And then let's talk about improvement in athletic endurance. So these are two of our Olympic athletes, Bria Larson and Cody Miller. They are Olympic gold medal champions, swimmers. And ASEA Redox supplement has a significant impact for athletes, which is why we have Olympic swimmers taking it. It increases their endurance and strength. They recover quicker. They repair faster. They have increased mental stamina. It increases their VO2 max, which is the volume of oxygen they hit their bloodstream before they hit the wall, and increased ventilatory threshold. So these things, all of these things are extremely important for not only athletes, but for you and I as well. And it explains why one of the things ASEA does for most people when they first start taking it is make them have more energy left at the end of the day. So these are some of our ASEA athletes. And ASEA doesn't pay their athletes. They sponsor their product, but they do not pay them. So let's have a look at these products. Renew Advanced, clinically and dermatologically tested, absolutely wonderful products, cruelty-free, no animal-based ingredients at all, no GMOs, no sulfates, no parabens, no artificial anything. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful range of products. Dermatest has given it a 5-star clinical rating, which is pretty amazing. It's the highest possible commendation that they have. And after 4 weeks of using Renew 28 twice a day, morning and night, on the face, these were the things that they saw. Reduced wrinkle depth by 21%, skin elasticity up by 20%, overall wrinkles improvement by 23%, improvement in facial skin texture by 22%, increased smoothness by 23%, and increased skin moisture by 11%, even though it's not actually a moisturizer. It is a revitalizing redox gel that is suitable for all over body use, not just the face. And another independent clinical study done by Stevens actually showed that after 30 days of application twice a day, there was a 16% faster skin cell turnover. So how about that? That is pretty incredible, and I'm sure most people would want to see their skin on their face turning over 16% faster. It is really quite incredible. It want to help the wrinkles and the age spots and all of those things. But the really big one here was the increase in skin blood flow, 15 minutes after the first application. So 49%, nearly 50% increase in skin blood flow after the first application. That's pretty incredible. And then it goes down a little over an hour and 3 hours and 48 hours. But if you continue to apply Renew 28 morning and night, the skin blood flow actually has increased by 55% after 96 hours into the study. So that's pretty amazing. And why many people report benefits from applying Renew 28 3 times in 5 minutes to an area of discomfort. Remember, this is an all-over body gel. It isn't just for the face, and it can certainly help people with their discomfort because of what it does, and then the fact that it contains redox molecules. So ask somebody to rate, if you want a quick way to see if redox molecules work. The really simple way to do that is get 10 people who have a discomfort somewhere in their body, like you can see in these pictures. Get them to rate their discomfort prior and their range of movement prior to doing this, and then get them to apply Renew 28 to that area 3 times in 5 minutes. Just apply, let it dry, apply, let it dry, apply, let it dry. And after 10 minutes of the first application, then ask them to rate their discomfort again and also see how good their range of movement is after that amount of time as well. 90 to 95% of time, you will be absolutely astounded at the results. And it is the quickest way to really show you what redox molecules and Renew 28 is capable of. Another good way to use this is in the carotid artery. So that artery is the artery that feeds the brain and the face and the neck. blood supply. So if you apply Renew 28 on both sides of the neck, behind the jaws and below the ears, and swipe down the neck to the front of the throat, it is a really, really good way. It's the fastest way to get redox signaling molecules to the brain, where they can send signals to any part of the body to reduce discomfort. Remember, it's a signaling issue. Dermatest did a 12-week clinical study as well on cellulite. So over 12 weeks, this was the improvement, which is pretty obvious and quite amazing. There was nearly a 16% improvement in the appearance of cellulite over 12 weeks. And of course, seeing is believing with Renew 28, and feeling is believing with Renew 28. The results of this product truly do speak for themselves, without question. So what do the experts say? This is Anne-Louise Gittleman. She's the First Lady of Nutrition in America. She's written many books. ASEA, in my humble estimation, is the greatest advance in lifestyle medicine, which harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. And I love that saying, because it is what it does. It harnesses the power of your own body to keep you well. And of course, she calls it the DNA whisperer, which I think is beautiful, and it is exactly what it is as well. And this is Dr. Gary Samuelson, who's a medical atomic physicist. He says this technology has the potential to spearhead the greatest advances in health we have ever seen. And we do see them on a daily basis. So don't take our word for it. Do your own research. Redox biochemistry is one of the fastest growing areas of science in the world today. There are over 19,000 studies on redox signaling molecules published already in peer-reviewed scientific and medical journals, and you can see that on pubmed.gov, which I'm going to talk about shortly. And there are already over 1,500 books written on redox biochemistry that have already been published. In fact, there's a lot more than that now. If that doesn't tell you that this is a real science, nothing will. But if you're going to do your own research, please don't go to Dr. Google. Dr. Google is not a research engine, it's a search engine, and anybody can put anything on Google. I have websites. I can put whatever I want on that website, and somebody who reads it might well believe what I put on there, even if I put a whole pile of rubbish. So please do not go to Dr. Google. There is a site called Google Scholar where you can't just put anything. And this site is a very good site to use. So this was a couple of months ago, I put redox signaling molecules into Google Scholar, and I came up with over 1 million results in 0.03 of a second. What does that tell you? Like, some of those would have had nothing to do, of course, with what we're talking about, but I can guarantee that many, many of them would have. And this is the site I was talking about, pubmed.gov. Again, this is not a site that anybody can put rubbish on. This is articles and studies and things done by doctors and scientists. It's where doctors and scientists go to do research. It's where people studying nursing might go to do research, and it's open to the public to view. And if you type redox signaling molecules into their search bar, again, you will come up with many, 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 many things that tell you redox signaling is a real thing. Redox signaling molecules are a real thing. So this is our wonderful founder, Verdis Norton, and here's an amazing saying, which I love, which is, we are all at the start of something big with great purpose, and right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world, and we are changing the world, because the only way to get this technology to the world is through word of mouth marketing or network marketing, and that is exactly what he set up for us to do. And this product is spreading already now into 33 countries because people are speaking to people and telling people about this technology, and that's the whole point. ASEA is made from salt water. You cannot put it on a shelf and expect somebody to buy it. It needs an explanation. That is why it is sold this way. But breakthroughs really do create great opportunity. And imagine having the single greatest breakthrough in wellness, athletics, and skincare in your hands with no competition and no copycats. That is exactly what we have with ASEA. So What to look for in a network marketing company. It's really important that you consider a few things if you are considering joining a network marketing company or joining a SEER. You need to look at the products, the company, the timing, the systems and support that they offer, and of course the compensation plan. So let's have a look at the SEER opportunity. Our products, wow, they're totally cutting edge. They're scientifically validated by all of these things. We have a massive demand for the stuff that we have. We have one-of-a-kind products that no one else has. We have very, very high impact products, and we have heavily patented technology. So our products, they really speak for themselves. There's nothing else to say about our products. There is not another company in the world that can compete with our redox technology. A SEER, the company, integrity and stability, that is amazingly what they stand for. We have world-class leadership. We are financially strong and stable, and we now have an international presence. And these 6 gentlemen are integrity and leadership personified. I know every one of them personally, and they are absolutely incredible human beings, and I am very grateful for being in business with each and every one of them. Timing. We are post-startup now because a SEER is 10 years old this year. But we are still in our early momentum. So you can see where this company is heading. It is definitely heading in an upward direction, and it is a company that I would seriously consider getting on board with right now. Compensation. We have leveraged compensation, residual income, very fair compensation plan, full-time, part-time, however you would like to do it, legacy income, commissions are paid weekly, and a SEER has made many millionaires, and a SEER actually even has several $10 million earners now. So what difference would $500 a month make to you? $500 a week? How about $500 a day? What difference would that make in your life? I'm sure it would make a very large difference. And people that join our company don't all want to make an absolute fortune. An extra $500 a month in most people's homes would make an incredible difference to their standard of living. So this is our income disclosure statement. And as you can see, you can start from very low and you can also earn very high. And that comes right back to you, how much effort you want to put in and what you want to do. But if you just want to earn a little bit to cover your products, you can absolutely do that. If you want to earn a little bit more so that you can help to put food on the table or buy kids extra school books and things like that, put them through school, you can do that as well. Or if you want to have an income that allows you to travel the world and work from anywhere in the world, you can also do that as well. So we have amazing systems and support. You are not alone when you join us. You are definitely not alone. You have amazing team support. We have great personal development. We have new friendships and relationships. I've made so many new friends since I joined ASEA. It's incredible, and they will be friends for life. We have wonderful events and incentives as well, and these are the ones we have this year. We have a SEER Ascent in Dubrovnik. We have a SEER Diamond Summit in Rome, and you can earn these trips if you join us. And we also have some in Asia as well for the Asian communities who don't want to travel to Croatia or Italy. We have wonderful systems in place. You have a personal website. We have great videos you can share. We have a product called ASEA Connect, which makes it very easy for you to connect with people and send people within seconds, send people videos and things about ASEA so you can share it. And we have that on a mobile phone and also on a computer. We have a virtual office where you can track every single thing that is happening in your business. And we also have an app called ASEAshare.com. So we have many, many systems in place. So what's next? How do you do that? Have a look at marketing channels for new customers. Search engine optimization is obviously the highest one here. Online direct selling, email, all the way down to radio and TV, which these days don't work at all, newspapers and things like that. But guess what the biggest one is? Word of mouth marketing. Word of mouth is the most effective channel for gaining new customers. And that's exactly what a network marketing company is about. especially ASEA, where talking to people about the product is the way we share it and explaining the product. You know, everybody shares things. You know, if you go to a good movie or a good restaurant and it's really great, you tell your friends about it and you share it, but you don't get any income for that. You don't get any reward for that. But with ASEA, you do get paid for sharing. How easy is it? It's not easy, but it is simple. And if you follow the simple pattern to get it right, then it will become easy. So you start with you find a little executive committee around you of people that you would like to introduce, and then you help those people do the same, and it just continues to grow. And it really is as simple as that. You introducing people who then you show them how to introduce people, and so on and so on. And then you build your distribution channels. So you start with you and you very slowly just build out, and eventually you can actually end up, if you want to, with a European distribution channel, an Asian distribution channel, an American distribution channel. And I have to say, I have these now, quite amazingly. But do you think I really knew anybody in Europe, or did I personally know anyone in Asia? I actually didn't. The people that are in my business now that are in those channels came from someone who knew someone who knew someone who knew someone. That is the beautiful thing about network marketing, and why it's called network marketing. It's networking, people talking to people talking to people. That's what this business is all about. So ASEA today stands on a very firm foundation. It is post-startup and early momentum. We had 50% growth each of the past 2 years. Wow. We're in the top 75 direct sales companies in the world and climbing. We are open in 33 countries. We're financially sound, profitable with no long-term debt. We have solid, disciplined executive leadership team that have been together for 7 years plus. We own the Redox platform with broadening unique product portfolio and story. We have all scalable systems online and optimized. Our production facility, this is really important as ASEA is growing so rapidly. Our production facility can scale up to 4 times its current revenue with little additional capital. That's amazing. We have steady and committed field leadership across all markets, and we have truly, we have the most unique and substantive culture of authenticity and humanity in the network marketing industry. There is no question about that whatsoever. And if you get to meet some of our leaders and get to meet the corporate team in ASEA, as I hope you do, and come along to one of our events that they will be at in February, you would get to see that for yourself. So, do you want to be at the end of the last wave or the beginning of the next wave? A really important question when it comes to if you're looking at this as a business opportunity, because the last 30 years were vitamins, minerals, antioxidant, and exotic juices, so on and so forth, alkaline water, all of those things. That has been network marketing for the last 30 years. The next 30 years is going to be redox signaling molecules. And at the moment, we're the only people that have it, and we will be for quite some time. Our technology is a category creator. We have third-party science. We have life-changing benefits. We have heavily patented technology, and we have no competition, and we have a tremendous financial opportunity. So where do you see yourself? If you're on here because the first few that we talked about, if you have a health challenge or you know someone with a health challenge, then please get back to the person who invited you here and find out what you need to do to get started on these life-changing products. If you would like to earn some part-time income and be a part-time builder, fantastic. Please join us. You won't be sorry that you did. And of course, the opportunity is for a full-time builder. And that can be $10,000 a week and beyond. And there are many people in ASEA that are doing that right now. So there is absolutely nothing like making a living while making a difference. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I hope that was really helpful for you. And of course, we will have another expert in the house next week.